My creativity died last year. I'm not being dramatic. Okay, maybe a little.
But that's what it felt like. I was sitting right here in this chair, staring at a blinking cursor on a white screen, and nothing. It was like the well had just run dry. You know the feeling, right? It's that cold, hollow pit in your stomach when you realize the story that was so vibrant, so alive in your head just yesterday, is gone. It's a ghost. You can't find the words. You can't find the motivation. Every sentence you manage to type out feels clunky, derivative, like a bad imitation of your own voice. I was halfway through a novel I was genuinely passionate about. Or I had been passionate about it. Now I was in what I call the muddy middle. The exciting beginning was a distant memory, and the triumphant ending felt like an impossible summit on a mountain I didn't have the energy to climb. I did everything they tell you to do. I went for walks, I read different genres, I tried writing prompts. I even cleaned my entire house twice just to avoid facing that document. It was a special kind of frustrating. Because I'm a writer, this is what I do, and I couldn't do it. The self-doubt started creeping in. Vicious stuff. Maybe you're a one-hit wonder. Maybe that last book was a fluke. Maybe you just don't have it anymore. It felt like I was trying to start a fire with wet wood in the middle of a rainstorm. Hopeless. And that's when I did something I swore I would never do. I turned to AI. And now, hold on. Before you click away, hear me out. My perception of AI and writing was probably the same as yours is right now. I thought it was cheating. I thought it was soulless, corporate, and a threat to everything that makes art, well, art. I had this image of a robot churning out generic, plagiarized garbage that would flood the market and devalue the work of real human authors. I was a purist, a skeptic, maybe even a little bit of a Luddite. And my first few attempts with it just proved me right. I'd go to one of those free AI chat tools and type in something like, write a chapter about a detective finding a clue. And what I got back was awful. It was boring, it was predictable, it read like a C- book report from a kid who hadn't read the book. It had no voice, no style, no soul, it was just words. I thought, see, I knew it, this stuff is useless. And I almost gave up on it right there. But the blinking cursor was still blinking, and my book was still dead. I was desperate. So I tried something different. I changed my approach, and that's when everything changed. This is the first and most important tip I can give you. Don't ask the AI to be the writer. Ask it to be your muse. This is where we need to do some serious myth busting. Everyone is terrified that if they use AI, their writing will sound robotic and generic, that it will strip away their unique style. But that's based on a fundamental misunderstanding of how to use the tool.
Think of it like this. Is a master chef cheating if they use a really sharp, perfectly balanced knife? Does the knife chop the vegetables for them? No. The chef's skill, their vision for the dish, their timing, that's what matters. The knife is just a tool that allows them to execute their vision more efficiently and precisely. AI is your knife, or your thesaurus, or your brainstorming partner who never gets tired and has read every book ever written.
My breakthrough came when I stopped giving it commands and started asking it questions. I went back to that scene I was stuck on. My protagonist, a cynical sorcerer, was supposed to walk into a magical library for the first time. I had written the sentence, he walked into the library about 50 times. It was torture. So instead of saying, write the scene for me, I asked the AI something different. I fed it some context about my character. He's jaded, he's seen it all, he's not easily impressed. Then I prompted it, give me 5 unexpected sensory details for a magical library from the perspective of a cynical sorcerer who hates books. And what came back wasn't a finished paragraph. It wasn't perfect prose. But it was a list of sparks. The air doesn't smell of old paper, but of ozone and regret. The silence isn't peaceful. Just like that, the fire was lit. That one detail, the air smelled of ozone and regret, was everything. I would have never, ever thought of that on my own. It was the perfect detail for my character. It wasn't the AI's voice. It was a catalyst for my voice. I didn't copy and paste it. I used it as a springboard. Suddenly, I wasn't stuck anymore. I was writing. I was describing the humming, listening silence, the fizzling spells in the air. The AI didn't write my chapter. It unlocked the chapter that was already inside me, buried under a pile of frustration and self-doubt. Which brings me to the second big myth we have to bust. Let's be honest, using AI isn't cheating. Do you use spell check, Google for research, a thesaurus when you've overused a word? Of course you do. Writers have always used tools. AI is just the latest evolution. It's not cheating to brainstorm titles in seconds, or to bounce dialogue ideas off something at 2 a.m., or to line a plot with help tracking every thread. When I embraced it, the fear of the blank page disappeared. And I stopped seeing the AI as a threat and started seeing it as a collaborator. Suddenly, I wasn't blocked. I was inspired. I finished that book. And that's why I started sharing my process, my prompts, workflows, and the mindset shift that changed everything. And I built a community where writers can stop fearing the tech and start creating again. Let AI help unleash your creativity, not replace it. If any of this hit home, if you felt the frustration, the self-doubt, or even just a spark of curiosity about what AI could do for your writing, I want to personally invite you to join us. Inside my free school group, I share exactly how I'm using AI to write full books and connect with other writers doing the same. You'll also get access to the tool I use every day, instaauthor.com. Links are in the description. Come see what's possible. I'll see you inside.